probably one of the most fun portions of Morrowind and really any Elder
Day
Scrolls
one.
game, and that is finding the balance of the system, or breaking the balance of it in some way. Because while all the skills and things I just mentioned typically in terms of your investment into them, they can be increased further via other means, and in some
But this
cases,
one only have two.
retain the additional effects they would from you could manage. That is to say, being unceremoniously killed by low-level mobs to absolutely decimating anything and everything, even if it breaks the actual game. Which is probably a good time to switch direction. If you don't have any impact on this world at all, you're going to have to learn about it and understand what it is before you can make any real meaningful change, even through the process of the main story. And I would say, when it comes to this portion of the video and the game itself, that's what mattered to me the most. Despite not having all the, I would say, modern bells and whistles of even other Bethesda titles, things like the Radiant AI system, NPC schedules, because they're just static here, the world still feels alive, alien, and unique, even in 2024. And that's really saying something. And I think that is, in no small part, one of the reasons Morrowind is so well remembered. But that obviously isn't entirely without fault, because while Morrowind is, I would say, the foot and you can see the weapon connect, you also have to do things like
It touches your Lego.
You're gonna touch everything.
Or
It'll be this side.
why don't you just cut one of the leaves?
No!
Bisi-bisihan si lolo mo. Yung mga pinakamamahal niyang mga halaman. Plantito indeed.
There's also a weird hidden pylon system that's hard to make use of, but
Malamig na kasi sa labas, so kailangan naming ipasok yung mga halaman sa loob. Kasi pag nasa labas lang sila, hindi nila kaya yung lamig. So, lahat ng halaman mamamatay. That's the reason why we're moving in all the plants inside the house.
Come here.
What?
Come here. I'm vlogging. What?
However, it is important to learn how those things work because your basic movement speed tends to be pretty slow, like I also mentioned earlier. But I will say, why not give you this? Nonetheless, though, the world is also filled with all sorts of NPCs, and it's probably worth a mention that if you're used to the games for the series later entries, NPCs in this game are static. They don't really move around much. Some of them might have like a patrol route that they'll walk, but they don't move very far. Shops are always open, and while occasionally certain NPCs will be teleported to different places for various quests, you don't really find them out walking around. Everything's kind of set in stone. This comes with a few noteworthy things. For starters, every NPC you run into has a disposition towards you. It's based on quite a few different factors, but basically however you get your character. It's also possible to persuade them or use spells to increase that disposition, which increases or decreases their likelihood to give you certain information. If they have a disposition of 0, they're very unlikely to say anything at all, which is a problem if you get information from that NPC for a specific quest, which is where things like spells that can manipulate their disposition and force them to talk to you can be very helpful if you lack the speech craft to get out of them the old-fashioned way and you don't have the money to afford a bribe. But you do, at the very least, have some options. However, one of those options just so happens to be atmosphere, what the island of Barnfell and the province of Morrowind are all about. Because they're an odd alien people. You see, the Dunmer, as it were, settled Morrowind a long, long time ago, back when it was known as Redbane, several thousand years ago. And when they originally settled the land, they weren't even known as Dunmer. They were called the Chimer and had golden skin compared to this bluish gray with red eyes they have now. With the tribunal themselves often representing some of the various facets of Dunmer culture, such as Rovek's duality, leading to his buoyant armatures on one hand that can uphold things like courtesy and like almost knightly questing, only to turn around and stab people in the back whenever it's necessary, which is the case for the guild like the Borag Tone, which is an officially sanctioned assassin's guild, and things like that are just really interesting to see because they make this culture feel unique, and that's before you even talk about the alien look of everything, like the giant mushrooms, the bizarre flora and fauna that you don't really see anywhere else. And while I don't want to explain every little detail of it because we would be borderline, but the catch is there's only 7 of them, and they're not as, I would say, crazy memorable as a lot of the ones in, say, Oblivion or Skyrim. But they still have those. For instance, the Sheogorath one is particularly notable because you have to kill a bull netch with a fork, which is certainly a tall order. Azura's quest, which you can do, sees you settling a bet between her and Sheogorath. Prometheus' quest sees you re-establishing a big statue of Promethea, and all of these still give you great rewards and artifacts. But because there's only 7 danger quests, really, you might be wondering where all of the artifacts come into play that are scattered throughout the rest of the other 4 games. And I will say that it's odd to see those artifacts just scattered randomly throughout the rest of the game. Because you'll often encounter like major basic artifacts just questing and running around Morrowind, which can sometimes feel a little bit silly, especially